today you are going to love this. I am talking to Leanne Crockett. She is a leadership development and career strategist. I'm talking about how she went from longing for a business, like many of you guys have, to actually launching her business to incredible height. Hey, Lee.
Hi, Wendy. So I'm a leadership development and career strategist. And what I do is I work with high achieving professional women to fast track their promotion so that they can overcome imposter syndrome and take control of their career.
Fantastic. Like how concise, like the point, specific.
That's extraordinary impact.
Tell us a bit about kind of where you were when we met.
Yeah, so when we met, I was daydreaming like usual. I had wanted a business for years and years. I actually I call myself a serial entrepreneur. I would start something and then just not have the passion for it, shut it down. So I was in planning phase again. I knew that I wanted to have my own business and I knew that I wanted to coach or consult.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I didn't really know how to move forward or what to do.
Yeah. And when we met, you really didn't have anything. I mean, you had this really good idea, but there was no anything. There was no clients. There was no service.
There was nothing.
No blog, no website, no social media.
Nothing.
Like zero.
Zero. Absolutely. Just like the idea in my head of I want to coach. I don't know who I want to coach. I don't know how I want to do it. Just I know that I want to do this thing. And beyond that, there was nothing.
And then some things changed. Some things have changed since then. Just a few.
Just a little bit of things changed. I mean, I met you. I went through extraordinary impact. I was able to, do some customer discovery and really figure out what I bring to the table through my brand story, and how I can really help and impact other women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started the program in July or August, and I believe I got my first client in October. And from there, it's been, let's go. It's been a whirlwind.
And then I remember, and I think you got your first client, I think it was earlier than that. I think it was in September, because I remember we talked about this in the challenge in September. And I remember I was walking down the street, I was out for a walk, and I got a text from you going, how do I accept payments? And I'm like, what the what? I'm like, I think she's got a client.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting.
But I love what you did too, because you did exactly what I want people to do, which was that you put things out there and you didn't build a ginormous video, anything. You were like, I've got an idea. I know who I want to speak to. I know what I want to do with them. And I know how I want to work with them. And and you just put an offer out, like on social media. Like, if you want this and this and this, just call me.
Yeah. And in a lot of ways, that's still how I operate. I don't have a webinar. I haven't done paid ads. I just put offers out there to help people, and they resonate with my message and they reach out to me.
Yeah. And so this is the proof in the pudding. When I tell you guys that, you don't need this giant thing, and getting this kind of clarity, and then putting together these short building blocks of your sales and marketing communication, that my clients have just said these things and gotten clients and just posted these things. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. That's how I got my first client. I posted it somewhere and I sent my Calendly link, and they scheduled a consult, and that was it. There wasn't, no sales funnel, nothing.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I know you had articles coming, you've got articles, you've had speaking gigs, and then once this took off, it really took off. You got a bunch more clients, you raised your rates, all kinds of stuff was happening through the fall.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I've probably quintupled my rates since I first started. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of speaking engagements with people in my target market.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the, it's really been rinse and repeat. Like we said, put offers out and people see them. And the more you do that, the more people will see them. And then that's how you convert, especially in the beginning.
Exactly, especially at the beginning when you're trying to get traction. And I know people want to go hide in the back cave for 18 months and build something that's going to magically do stuff. No.
Yeah, well, and I mean, when you spend that much time, you miss the trends as well. The easiest thing to do is to go out there and test it. If you lost yourself away and you come out 2 years later with the perfect plan, the market may have moved on. They may have already found a solution that does exactly what you do and better potentially. The best thing to do is to put it out there, test, see what results you get, and iterate from there.
Absolutely. I would love to know kind of what was it about Extraordinary Impact that really moved you forward? What was it that did it for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference between what I had been doing and, like I said, I call myself a serial entrepreneur, is I would find these ideas, like there's this market need, and I would make myself try to provide that solution. And Extraordinary Impact took the opposite stance of what is it that you bring to the table? Who are you? Let's take a look at your story and how can you use that to help other people? Because that's what's going to connect you not only to how you're useful in the market, but also to your passion. And that's what's going to keep you going, late at night or on the weekends, like we're both working today, right? Like that's what's going to make it worthwhile for you instead of just trying to do something because there's an opportunity for money in the market.
Oh, and I love that you made that point because that's something I say over and over again. There's so many people out there giving that advice of here's how you start a business, go find a market with a need and then see how you can fulfill it. And
Right.
yeah, that's not terrible business advice, but it is if you have a strong mission, if you have a strong purpose, you have a thing you want to do, and you had a thing, you had a calling. You weren't exactly sure the who, and you weren't exactly sure the how, but you had a strong thing that you really did want to do, and you have that, and you end up with somebody else's business.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, absolutely. And when you have that passion, what you do is you connect with people because you have the background for them to relate to you. So you get the trust and you get to become one of the people that they want for you to help them. Not just they want this solution, but they can see themselves in your story, and that's how you can get that relatability into, okay, tell me more about this person.
absolutely. And I know, speaking of stories, I know, people have been asking me like, how are different ways you can use your brand story? And I think you've mentioned that one of the ways you use your brand story is actually in your sales consults.
Absolutely. I use my brand story in my sales consults, and I particularly use them in my speaking engagements. Before I
Mhm.
talk to them about what I'm there to talk to them about, I tell them who I am and why it's relevant that I'm there speaking to them so that they know I've been through the same things that they have been through, and I've been able to overcome those things. So that really positions me as not only relatable, but an expert so that they know that I've been able to apply those things in my personal life with results and that it can happen for them too.
Absolutely. Now, you have been building this whole thing while holding down a full-time, important corporate job.
Yeah.
I mean, you have been, as you said, working on the weekends, but you really have. You came to Extraordinary Impact calls like on your lunch hour and things like, you have been burning the midnight oil. So,
Yeah.
you hadn't even left your day job and you've been doing all of this. And I know that when we spoke, I guess 10 days ago or so, I said, kind of where are you now? Like if I had to give a headline, what would I say about like kind of where you were, the overall transformation, from where you were to where you are? And you said, well, I kind of had an idea and I was there. And well, now I guess, I'm about to hit six figures at this point, which is, pretty amazing transformation.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting and fun and crazy all at the same time. I do have a corporate job, so I have to plan and see clients and do all of my strategic work before work, after work, on the weekends, during lunch hour, whatever it really takes. But that really goes back to your brand story and why it's so important. Because if I was just working on a need in the market, I'd be like, I don't have time for this. I'm tired. I don't have the energy. I don't want to do it. But because it's a passion driven business, it's what's fueling me and what's making it, it makes work not seem like work. But yeah, it has been a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ashley just asked, also, when were you able to finally leave your full-time corporate job? Interesting question, actually. So, you want to
Interesting
take that one?
question. Yes. So I am currently on leave from my job with the hope that I will not have to go back, but I'm very, very close to being able to walk away completely and not only replace my income, but improve upon it.
Ashley also asked, had you gone through other programs prior to Extraordinary Impact?
No. Extraordinary was the first program that I did, and it was really important that I did it first because it gave me the baseline to not only say, okay, go out there and get clients, but to really start from the inside with myself to say, who am I? What do I want to do? How can I help people? And to bring that all together because that was the foundation of my business. So it was really, really important that I did that first.
I love that. What would you say to somebody who is, where you were, so, in that position of being relatively new or haven't really gone out and put out social media or gotten clients or anything, who's like, God, I'm new. This is a big investment of time and money and energy, and I'm new.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the consideration is, and it was for me as well, when I looked at other programs, they were all so cookie cutter. They were like, okay, we're going to teach you how to build a sales funnel and we're going to teach you how to do a big webinar and we're, all of this tech. And it was really, really overwhelming. So I liked the fact that Extraordinary Impact was focused on the messaging, and then it's really up to you. And Wendy helps you as well figure out how to get that messaging out there. But it's without the pressure of having to know all of these techie things or having to spend more money on top of the course to have to invest and get all of these things ready. Because that's really, like Wendy says, like locking yourself into the cave. Well, I can't be ready to launch until my sales funnel is done or until my webinar is done or all of these things. And you don't need any of those things to get going. You really need your passion and you need to figure out how to highlight your experiences to other people. And Wendy helps you do that.
Yeah, and that's so important because so many people are focused on the platform, and the
Mhm.
platforms rise and fall. We keep seeing it, and the platforms are going to keep changing. And if you're constantly in that thing of like, how do I get ahead on this platform? First of all, it's not going to work if you don't have the message because it's just a delivery method. And then you're constantly doing this just running down rabbit holes and not getting anywhere. And so it takes so much less to get clients. I mean, I think that's the proof is in your story. You just got really clear and then you put it out there and then you got clients and you put it out there in the simplest way. So tell me a bit about
Right.
more where you are now with your business.
Yeah, so I am doing one-on-one coaching. I have my signature service, which is called Path to Promotion. So that was an 8-week group and one-on-one option for women who are looking to figure out the steps that they need to take to get promoted. And connecting my brand story, it's the steps that I used in my career to get promoted several times and to triple my salary along the way. So it's based off of my own experience. It was an 8-week program. I'm transitioning it to a 6-month program, and I have a couple other programs in the works as well that are going to be launching before the end of the year.
That's fantastic. So lots and lots of stuff going on.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So one of the the things that I hear a lot, and it's understandable, is when people are at the place where they haven't made a ton of money with their business yet, or they've made none, or they've made, not a lot. They're like, I want to get clients first, then I'll invest. Or, I just don't want to, it doesn't feel like a good strategy to invest in something before I've got an income coming in. So I want to do that first. And, it's a vicious cycle to me because you just get stuck there and people stay there for years. But you were in that situation. You're like,
Right.
I'm going to invest before I've made any money in my business. How did you make that decision?
It's hard. It really is, the chicken or the egg. But really what did it for me was here is a program that can help me with my messaging and how to put myself out there. So it was either I could really go at it alone and time would only tell how long it would take to get my first client. But really, because I was really serious about my business and I didn't want one client or two clients, I wanted a stream of clients. And I knew that if I wanted to do that, I had to get very clear and consistent on the message that I was putting out there. And I needed help to do that.
You just recognize this is a gap and I need to fill it.
Absolutely. This is
Absolutely.
something that I cannot do on my own to my level of satisfaction. And here is a professional with proven results on how she can help me do that. And it was, very clear from there.
Absolutely. So, what would you say was your biggest win of this whole process?
I think my biggest win was really setting up the foundation correctly, in the right ways. I don't think that I would have the kind of success that I'm having if I didn't start from the inside out and really understanding what it is that I do, who it is that I want to serve, and how I can do that. If I didn't start from that perspective, I don't think that I would have had, the upward trajectory that I'm having. I've only been in business for 8 months. I'm definitely on track to hit over six figures this year, and it's amazing for me to say those things out loud. But it's really because I think that I took the time to really be thoughtful about my launch and be thoughtful about the messaging that I'm putting out there to people.
So, what would you say to people who are sitting here now listening, who are like hesitating, going, "I'm not sure, I'm not sure." What would you say? It's a leap of faith always.
It definitely is always a leap of faith, but it's really about, are you ready? Because when you decide that you're ready and you take the next step forward, things manifest faster than what you could even be ready for.
Hmm.
But if you're on the fence and you're trying to decide what to do, think about whether or not, or how long it really would take you in terms of time, money, effort to put all of these things together on your own versus having an amazing support system, having group with other people who can support you and are in similar situations that you are, and really what that will save you in terms of being able to either launch your business or take it to the next level.
What would you leave as a parting thought for people who are watching about this whole experience?
Yeah, I think that the parting thought really would be that for me, it had always been like, and I think you mentioned it, like I had all of these dreams and ideas of things, and it was really about having the rubber meet the road and making a decision. I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm going to stop dreaming about it. I'm going to stop fantasizing about it, and understanding that everything that I wanted could be real if I take the right steps to make sure that that happens. And for me, extraordinary impact was the next right step.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm really excited to see where you go next.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.